Dominic Ongwen is a former child soldier who became deputy leader of the Lord's Resistance Army.
Mr. Ongwen, please stand up and identify yourself to the court.
He is the first member of the LRA to appear before the International Criminal Court. The war crimes charges against Ongwen date back to the group's reign of terror in Uganda between 2002 and 2005. Last year, he surrendered to U.S. forces in Uganda who had been deployed to capture him.
I was kidnapped in 1988. I was taken into the bush when I was 14. And now I am here in front of you. I am present at the ICC and I would like to thank you for being able to meet you.
The LRA began its offensive against the Ugandan government in 1986. The militant group is accused of killing more than 100,000 people. More than 60,000 children were abducted and recruited as child soldiers. In recent years, the LRA has spread its attacks to South Sudan, Central African Republic, and Democratic Republic of Congo. Dominic Ongwen is accused of leading one of the group's worst attacks. It was on a refugee camp in northern Uganda in April 2004. At least 61 men, women and children were killed.
We all sin in our thoughts, words and deeds. I ask for forgiveness because I used to think war was the best thing. Every day I cannot help but dream about it. I ask all Ugandans to forgive me for all the atrocities I committed.
Many years after, the attacks have subsided, but not the memories.
The government failed to do their duty to protect us in the camp here because they are the one who brought us together in the camp.
LRA leader Joseph Kony still hasn't been caught.
And Fidelis joins us here now on set. Fidelis, what does Dominic Ongwen's trial mean for the victims of the Lord's Resistance Army?
Well, for the victims, they will be hoping to get justice. Not just for those in Uganda, because you have his victims across Uganda, Central African Republic, and the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan as well. Even though the case about the charges before him today are actually just limited to the atrocities he committed while in northern Uganda between until about 2006 when the Lord's Resistance Army was pushed out of the country. So for them, they'll be looking for, like for many of them, they've been displaced since that 2006. Some have not been really, they've lost their family members. They can't go back to their homes. Some are still in camps. Even all the promises of compensation by the Ugandan government have ended up as political statements.
Well, hopefully there'll be some resolution for them. But the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army is still at large. Why is it so difficult to apprehend him?
Well, Joseph Kony has actually, more like mastered evasion, because almost about 5 times they've got very close to him, and it's been difficult to apprehend him. Some of his fighters even believe that he's got mystical powers, because some of them claim that even when you're with him, he tends to disappear. But all these are unsubstantiated claims. It's actually very, more like something that people can't comprehend, because he has, right now, they used to have about 2,000 fighters, but right now they have less than 500 fighters. But these fighters are so well armed, and they've mastered the jungle, because where they're fighting is a jungle. And so they keep moving from one location to the other, despite the presence of about 4 armies from different countries and about 100 U.S. special troops. It's been difficult apprehending Joseph Kony, which is why people more like feel that, he's like a master of the jungle.
Just back to the trial of Dominic Ongwen. Is this the initial steps? What's the process here for him in front of the ICC?
Well, before now, the first appearance was for him to be actually identified, to be sure that he is actually the one that they were looking for. Now that has been established. Now the charges will be read out to him, and then his lawyers are going to put up defense. Like one of the defense they're going to put up is the fact that he too is a victim of LRA, because he was abducted at 14. So they're going to put up that argument that, he's also a victim of the system, and try to use that to whip up sentiments in order to more like get a sort of soft landing for him.
Well, for now, Fidelis, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much.